Hi guys, it's Friday. I hope everyone's day is off to an amazing start. Today I wanted to stop in and share with you this super simple DIY for making maxi skirts. You guys know that spring is already here. The weather here in Atlanta has just been amazing these last few days. And so summer is just around the corner, and for both spring and summer I love to wear both maxi skirts and maxi dresses. If you are like me, sometimes you're short on time, a great resource for purchasing your fabric is going online to fabric.com. This is actually where I ordered my fabric. So the fabric of choice for my skirts is going to be a stretchy fabric. Stretch knits are going to be a really good selection or choice for these particular skirts. Alright guys, so this is the fabric that I will be working with today, and as you can see I have it folded in half. We do want to start with our fabric folded in half, and then you want to put the right sides of the fabric together, and I will be doing that here in just a second. And I like to do this because in a minute I'm going to probably mark up the fabric and make little notations on it, and you don't want to mess up the good side of the fabric. So you want to put the wrong side of the fabric out, and that is what will be exposed. And so also for the length of your skirt, how long do you want your skirt? Well, you simply are going to just take your tape measure, guys, and measure from your waist down to your feet, or if you're like me and like a super maxi skirt, you're even going to take it on down to the floor. So that's what I did. All right, and so with our fabric folded in half and we've made our little marking as to how long we want our skirt, we now want to take our waist measurements, okay? So whatever measurement you get from measuring your waist, you're now going to take your tape measure, fold it in half, and just take a little marker or a fabric pin and just kind of make a little note right there, a little dot right there on your fabric. Alright guys, so now that we have our waist measurement, put that little dot up there, we're going to go from that little dot down to where we said we want the length of our skirt to be. So we're going to start up at the top and on a diagonal, because we want this to be a really wide skirt at the bottom. I love making it wide and flowy at the bottom, so that's why we're doing this little diagonal here. So going from the waist little dot down to where we said we want the length of the skirt to be, and we're just going to start cutting out our little pattern. Also guys, you want to be sure that before you cut, you want to make sure that you've built in a little bit of a seam allowance for when you take your fabric to your machine. So what I did, I left about a fourth of an inch of a seam allowance going down that diagonal, and then also at the bottom, for my hem. All right, and so as I'm cutting, you guys will notice that I have added some canned goods, some baked beans here to my fabric, and this is just to keep it from moving. This fabric, when placed on my island here, is really slippery, so the cans kind of help me cut a straight line without worrying about the fabric kind of shifting around. Guys, so as you can see here, I have my skirt all cut out. I think I did a pretty good job of keeping those lines straight. So what you want to do now, all the areas that we are needing to sew down, we want to go ahead and pin those areas so that we make sure we keep our fabric together. All right, so I've pinned down the side or that diagonal of the fabric. Now I want to go ahead, guys, and work on my waistband. Okay, so you want to fold over your waist up at the top of your skirt, and the size of your fold, guys, is going to depend on the size of your elastic. And here I have several different sizes of elastic, and let's say I was going to use that piece there, it would fit really nicely in that fold that I've created right there. And let's say I was going to use this smaller piece of elastic, okay? I would want to then decrease the size of that fold because we don't want the little pocket that we're going to put the elastic in to be too big, all right? So what I'm going to do now, guys, is just go ahead and pin down my fold so that when I get over to my sewing machine, it'll be really easy. I won't have to, you know, fuss with my fabric and things like that. I'll know exactly where I want to start stitching. And speaking of stitching, guys, as we are pinning, we want to make sure that we leave a little bitty gap, a little bit of a gap actually, in our waistband, and that is going to be where we enter with our elastic. So I'm showing you right here that little flap. As I go over to my machine, I'm not going to sew that area closed because that is where I am going to insert my elastic. And so I have a skirt that I am partially finished with. I'll kind of show you here that I have completed the band on this particular skirt. I love this little heather gray skirt. I love it. But so yeah, I've completed the band just about, but I've left here a little opening, a little partial opening, and that is where I will go in with my elastic. We have to have a little door for the elastic to enter into, and so I have a little safety pin on the end of my elastic band, and that is going to prevent the band from actually getting lost in the waist of the skirt. You can kind of keep up with your elastic that way. So I'm just gonna like scoot it in there, just inch by inch by inch, scoot that elastic on around that waistband. Alright guys, and so if you'd like to know just how much elastic you need for your waistband of your skirt, you're simply going to take your elastic, just like what you did with your measuring tape, put it around your waist, give it a little bit of a stretch. You want it to overlap just a little bit. The two ends of your elastic, they should overlap just a little bit, but not too much because you don't want the band to be too tight. And that is simply it. Once you let it overlap a little bit, cut your elastic right there, and then you have the length that you will need for your skirt. All right, and so as I am inching my elastic through the waist of my skirt, it's taken some time, but no worries, it will get there. And so when the two ends of the elastic meet up, guys, we are simply going to sew those two pieces together and then close up our skirt. That little slit or little pocket that we left exposed on the skirt, we're now going to go ahead and close that up. And so guys, to quickly recap, you're simply going to sew down the diagonal of your skirt. You're going to finish your hem at the bottom of your skirt, and then you're going to also create your waistband at the top of the skirt. And guys, as you are working on the waist of your skirt, please be sure that you leave a little opening so that you will have somewhere for your elastic to enter, okay? Don't sew that completely closed when you go over to the machine. You want to leave that open until the two ends of your elastic meet, and then you can close that up. And that is pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.